somebody calling in today? Tomorrow on Friday? I said tomorrow on Friday. Oh. How do you pronounce this? Certified Kenyan? Kingian. Is this a certified Kingian or Kingian? Go ask. Yeah.
Looks like
Kingian.
Kingian. Yeah, we got tomorrow.
Oh, calling. I thought this was the first song. It's Kingian? Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure her name is pronounced
Shonda. Is today Thursday, Throwback Thursday? No, working. Won't you clap your hands, believers? I want you to give up that praise for Jesus this morning. I want to hear those claps. And if you can't clap, stomp your feet. But by the grace of God, I am that I am. And his grace toward me was not in vain. It's your girl, Tamara Fair, on the air. And I'm proudly posted in the studio with the rest of the Brunch Bunch. What's up, y'all? Hey, today is Throwback Thursday. And you know what that means, right? Tomorrow's Friday. It is Friday Eve, and I am super excited. We got a great show for you today, and we got great guests. And, of course, it's always our aim to send you back better than you came. Hope we do our job today. Let us know. But don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on this version 1390.
Hey, it's your main man, Action Jackson, and let me put you on to where I get my style right. GQ Gentleman, located at 7149 South State Street, right here in Chicago. Whether it's for church, prom, weddings, or galas, GQ Gentleman has the suits that keep me looking sharp and feeling confident. Need that perfect fit?
Well, yeah.
Call them at 773-966-4383.
They got rid of the ones that...
Why?
And tell them
This is the one
Action
you use.
Jackson
That's the
sent
one I
you.
like.
I'm State Representative LaShawn K. Ford.
And I'm Lester Barclay, Honorary Counsel
Oh,
of
it's just
Jamaica.
with Lester.
Jamaica needs your help. Hurricane Melissa has devastated our island.
Donate online at myjack.org. That's myjack, MIJAC.org, or drop supplies at Chatham Community Center or Agape Kingdom Generation Church in Skokie.
Okay.
One Jamaica,
One Midwest.
Be fabulous. Be social. Be outspoken. Be family.
Man, this is crazy. What's up, Eric? Hey, Miller Penny Burns. Miller Penny Burns. What's going on, cuzzo? Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you.
Order Queez today.
Go to bequeeze.com
Two?
and get your
We
favorite
got 2
fragrance
minutes?
today. That's BEQUEESE.com.
I had a
I'm LaShawn K.
exclusive.
Ford.
What
For
was
seniors and families, healthcare is a matter of survival. In Congress, I would fight to protect the Social Security because you earned it. Defend Medicare. You rely on it and strengthen Medicare so no family is forced to choose
been rewarding you.
medicine.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
How Trump administration.
No, I can't talk about all that foolishness, but I can say this is your exclusive. If you have a mate that has kids that are not your kids, Do you buy them holiday gifts, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, so forth and so on? You know what? Y'all always think so far back into the backstory of it. The question was,
that's a valid question. Though.
the question that he asked was, do you buy them gifts?
It's contextual.
It's contextual.
I think it depends on how long you've been with them. How long, if the father's in the light, because some fathers.
Well, you know that's Jarrell's whole thing. They got a daddy. Let their daddy buy them some gifts.
I mean, some people might take that the wrong way. Some people might take that the wrong way.
This is your exclusive topic for today, guys. Put your answers in the comments.
Oh yeah. What? He had the new PS5.
What? You buy him a Mustang and I can't afford it? Oh, it's on.
I'm not the stepdaddy. 30 seconds.
What? Are you crazy? Something wrong with y'all. See, that's a man's perspective. A woman, if you buy my baby a car, listen, you are the hero for at least a month.
Crazy. I need at least 6 months for a car.
Okay, 6 months is cool. You can be the hero for 6 months.
That's minimum 6 months. But as long as we keep our time and our time with the kids separate.
Can you look up why?
That's cool with me. I'll play.
Can you look up the cause of death? Believers, it is always heavy on our hearts when we announce people that have gone on and transitioned. However, this one hits home personally. Harold's Chicken CEO Kristen Pierce-Sherrod dies at the age of 55. The longtime chief executive of Harold's Chicken Shack and daughter of its founder has died at the age of 55. Her family confirmed in a statement this week. A beloved figure in Chicago's business and cultural community, Pierce-Sherrod led the iconic fried chicken chain that her father, Harold Pierce, started in 1950 on the south side of Chicago. Under her leadership, Harold's remains a deeply family-rooted business while expanding its reach beyond Chicago to dozens of locations in cities including Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, and at one point Las Vegas, Nevada. She was known not just for stewarding the brand's growth, but for preserving its traditions. Harold's famous marinated hard fried chicken and signature mild sauce and the company's unique modeling of licensing partnership rather than a corporate franchise structure with hands-on training and quality oversight that she and her husband, Vincent Sherrod, personally provided to licensees. Well, Prince Sherrod also made her mark outside of the restaurant world as co-founder of the Chicago Children Equestrian Center, an organization that she and her husband started to offer equine, which is for horses, assisted programs and empowerment opportunities for low-income youth. Her death, announced by the chain and the nonprofit, drew an outpouring of condolences from the community. Her family asked for privacy as they grieve, and funeral arrangements will be announced later, and we will keep you posted. Her passing marks the end of an era for a brand that has been the cornerstone of Chicago's culinary identity and a testament to her family's entrepreneurial legacy. I know people that fly into Chicago, and the first place they want to go after they get off the plane is Harold's. And not just any Harold's. People have their specific favorite Harold's. Now, personally, I love whichever Harold's is going to give me a half white with not mild sauce, but barbecue sauce and hot sauce on it with the bread smothering the chicken and the fries, right? I remember growing up and going to Harold's literally after parties, and it was just such an amazing after the party cuisine. And then my daughter went to school at I won't announce the school, but she went to school and she met the daughter because we called her Diane, and she met the daughter of the CEO, and they became friends, in fact, best friends. And then I got to know her. What a wonderful woman. Like, to have that kind of legacy and be such an icon in Chicago and around the nation. You would think that she was stuffy or anything like that. We always have our preconceived notions, just as down to earth as she could be, and one of the sweetest spirits that you would ever want to meet. So our prayers are going out to her family. We have lost an icon. Now, I pray that her kids are actually working the business now. I pray that they keep this legacy alive, because I would hate for it to die. Like the article says, that we've at the end of an era. It doesn't necessarily have to die with the CEO. They are very astute. They grew up in the business. They're very astute young adults, and I'm sure that they will continue to allow the business to grow. So we're going to play this song in memory of her and to keep the legacy alive. Amen. All right. What's up, sis? How are you? Hey, Gerald Johnson. Grace and peace. Yes. So many people are going to be so very impacted by the passing of the Harold's Chicken CEO, Kristen Pierce Sherrod. 55 is very young. Do you know, it doesn't, oh, they don't have a cause of death yet. What's up, Chef? How's it going on? Appreciate you joining in. So anyway, guess what, guys? Let's get back to the exclusive topic. And the exclusive topic does not mean that I just talk about the topic. That means that you guys have to put your answers in the thread. So if you're dating someone and that person has a child or children, are you supposed to give them gifts, the children gifts? Now, I fear that if I said someone, I didn't make it specific if a man was dating a woman and I said someone, but I fear that if a man's dating a woman, if you date me, you don't give my kids some gifts, man, I'm going to look at you sideways. I'm just saying.
For me, probably not give something. I think it's something at least. It's a show that you're giving them. It's consensual, but something that shows.
But what's the context? You don't get them a card. You don't get them anything.
What's my relationship with their mother, and what's my relationship with them? It's straightforward. Is their father in their life? Their father's not in their life, and I'm the male figure in their life, and it's like, yeah. I think the most important thing though is the relationship with the mother. It shows that you're trying for her, not for
Let me tell you how it's going to change your relationship with the mother. To all you guys out there, if you don't get that child a gift, she's going to look at you differently. She's going to look at you like you're not totally vested in the relationship, because you knew when you started dating her that she came with a package, and that package was the child.
I agree. If it's a serious relationship, yes.
It's not going to get serious. It's not going to get serious if you don't get the gifts.
That's where you enter. That's where you enter. Oh, so you're saying, yeah, I'm saying like before seriousness, you said that.
If the birthday come before the seriousness, get there, understand well. If you don't get that birthday gift, you got a hair's chance.
You want this to be serious or not? Yeah, that's the decision. Wait for that birthday. Let's see how serious you really want when the birthday show up.
What you say? But you do know that this is not the first time that we have talked about this, and this is not the first time that Jarrell has brought it up, right? So this is, huh?
I didn't bring it up today.
You did bring it up today.
I'm gonna be honest. I brought it up today.
Oh, you brought it up today. Oh, but
my situation was 2 years ago.
No, you see, all this is exactly why I ain't dating no single mothers in college. No.
Bro, I ain't.
What's up, V
You gotta
Tate?
do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you
That's
gotta do.
Valerie Tate. Is that Valerie? Let me know if that's you, Val.
I don't want to make no connection with the kid like that, bro.
How can you not make a connection with the kid?
I'll tell you why.
No, seriously, this is mind-boggling to me to listen to how men think.
I teach this boy how to shoot a jump shot, and then me and his mama get into it. Now
He still now know how to shoot a jump shot, though, thanks to you.
But if you are the male figure in his life,
How valuable is shooting a jump shot if you can't do the crossover before the jump shot? I ain't teach you how to do the crossover. I ain't teach you how to catch the pass. Like, I taught you how to do this.
What does that have to do with the gift giving?
What it has
I just want to keep it like linearly focused on what does that have to do with the gift
what I'm
giving.
saying is, you're
Oh,
investing into a child.
You about to make me time
You're
myself,
investing into a
choke
child,
myself with my
but you
hair.
don't get to finish the job. So what's the
That's
point?
kinda
But how do you know? So you just reserve yourself. How do you know?
Not keep it going.
Because that's the role of the stepfather, and that's why it's a thankless
That's not the role of a
I'm
stepfather.
not doing no thankless jobs, bro.
Oh my
Paid for
God.
that, bro.
What is wrong with
It's
you?
a thankless job. You could put all of this into this kid, all of this time and energy, and then the relationship fold up, and then that's it, bro. All your time and energy is in.
But you are not. But how do you reserve your involvement with the child because you're already predicting that the relationship is going to fold?
I'm not. I think if you really mess with that woman, you're gonna mess with her kids though too.
Yes.
Yeah, because the kids are basically
That's
mini
fine, bro.
her.
My thing is, the
What's up,
relationship
Andy?
fizzles out, bro.
Yeah,
You're
Andre,
now
I'm sorry.
you're
Hey,
now
Easton.
taking a father out of that kid's life, bro. I
Oh,
don't want to take that
so
father out of the kid's
Easton,
life.
If they already
Easton
don't have
says
an
get him
active
something
father
small.
figure, and then you come along, and then you give them that, and then you leave the
And
game,
then you snatch it, and you just you just did them twice. Now they really hate guys.
That's too
Wait,
much.
what? Say it again, Justice.
I'm saying, I understand his point of view. Is like,
You know, I think Jarrell has a big influence over you all because you can have a totally separate opinion, and then Jarrell start talking. No, I didn't hear because I was looking at social media.
before I met Jarrell, I was just saying the same thing.
It makes sense.
That's what you say now, 5 years after.
That's why you can't argue against him. Jarrell is logical.
No, you can't argue with him because Jarrell won't let you argue with him.
What I was saying was, if that child already has lost a father figure, that father figure was not in that child's life, and then I come along and I give them that, but then I break up with the mother, and then I end up leaving, that's 2 times that child has got a male figure that's just walked out on them.
Now when third boyfriend come in, I'm ready to fight him.
Yeah,
because the last 2 done walked out on
now
me.
he's gonna be jaded.
Who them? The kid? The kid is ready to fight. Tony, help me out. If you're dating someone and they have a child, do you get the child gifts on special occasions? You guys, you know what you're doing? You're limiting the length of the relationship by alienating this child because you already on the what ifs. But that, you know what? There's, you know how many, but do you know how many stepfathers have outperformed biological fathers?
That's the issue. Why do you want to outperform the biological father?
Maybe the biological isn't underperforming.
I don't want to ever come between.
You notice how you said stepfather, like I want dating. That stepfather is a further commitment. You marry this woman, you like, I am the father figure for these children.
What's up, Tanya? Tony Bear says it's a package deal, guys. It's a package deal. Did I say that earlier? It's a package deal.
Because you do know.
Now you don't go into the package, eat half of what's the contents in the package, and then put the other half on the shelf. That's essentially what you're saying.
That's what being a stepfather is.
No,
that's the job.
But I want you to qualify that to you.
You're playing on
To you.
game, unless it's like when they take that game back, you can't get mad. Unless it's a
What's up, Tanya?
It's somebody else. You playing on somebody else's game, bro.
Yeah, if I go into it like I'm looking for
borrowing somebody else's
I'm looking for long-term commitment. I'm looking for long-term
somebody else.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Are we talking about hit it and quit it, or are we talking about relationship?
That's the context.
Clearly, you're not talking about that. If you're talking about gift giving, because you quit before you knew even the birthday.
Okay, so we in this series, then yeah.
I'm getting a kid a video game I want to play, and I'm gonna play it with him.
I don't want this kid. I don't want this kid to think I'm gonna be trying to be your dad. I'm not gonna try to be your dad.
There is a way that you can
tell him straight up. I ain't your dad.
Your dad.
Tell him straight up.
I don't want to become between your dad. I don't want to be with your dad.
Here.
Kids are very smart.
I'm gonna change your whole perspective over here. That's what you do.
Very, very smart. They know you're not their dad.
Let me tell you something.
That's not really smart.
Let me say this, Tanya. When Josh was growing up and you were dating, let's just say, if they didn't get him a gift, what would you say? Would you be okay with that? Is there a limit on how long this relationship is gonna last after this? And don't you come back no more. Like seriously, that's what I would be saying. And Tony's okay.
What's going on, believers? This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Amen.
I am in the place of Mr. Marcel Action Jackson today, and this is what's going on. So, study finds link between evictions and gun violence in Chicago. A study by researchers at the University of Chicago has identified a striking connection between eviction rates and gun violence across Chicago neighborhoods. By analyzing city eviction records, shooting data from the Chicago Police Department and responses from the Healthy Chicago Survey, the researchers found that for every 1% increase in the eviction rate within a census tract, there were on average 2.66 additional shootings in that area. This suggests that the eviction isn't just a housing issue, it may be a driver of community violence. The study also showed that the individuals who personally experienced evictions were likely to have a greater exposure to nearby gun violence, making evictions a stronger prediction of such an exposure that factors like education or household income. Evictions in the city are most concentrated on the south and west sides, although most neighborhoods overall have eviction rates under 1%. Beyond the raw numbers, the researchers probed how evictions affect a community's collective efficiency. The shared confidence residents have in their ability to work together for a common good. Traditionally, low collective efficiency has been linked to higher violence, but the study found that in wealthier neighborhoods with few or no evictions, collective efficiency, whether high or low, didn't significantly change violence rates. This led researchers to conclude that the structural issues like poverty and housing instability are more fundamental to patterns of violence than social cohesion alone, highlighting how destabilizing housing losses can weaken community bonds and safety.
So are they shooting the sheriffs that are coming to convict them? I mean, evict them?
Me personally, I don't think that's necessarily what's going on.
It's just neighborhood shootings are going up because people are going to survive.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's a lot of factors in the situation, right? Why are people even getting evicted in the first place, right? A lot of times, they don't have money for their bills and things like that. Well, why don't they have money for their bills, right? Now we talking about drug use, drug abuse, and I'm not saying that that's everybody's situation.
Or mismanagement.
Or mismanagement. But we talking about the gun violence situation, right? You have somebody who may already be using drugs, then they get evicted. Now they don't have drugs or a place to live, but they do have a weapon. Somebody says, hey, bro, I'll give you $1,000 or this much to go do this job. And you already under the influence of drugs, you need your drugs and you don't have no place to go. Now, you know what I mean? That eviction just turns you into a hitter. So I see that happen to a lot of people that I know. A lot of people who, you wasn't even a street guy, but now you evicted, you don't have no place to live. Now you're willing to do anything for $1. So,
well, like we said, people are going to survive, but that kind of speaks to the gentleman who stood out at the press conference. He was saying that we were talking about the child care freeze, and he was saying, well, the child care assistance program has helped me in more ways than just assisting me with the assistance for tuition for my child. It helped me become more vested in my father role because my previous life did not have me vested in my father role, and I don't want to go back to my life of crime. And so a lot of if you cure poverty, you cure crime, right? And so when we think about the correlation to such, we don't necessarily think about it in unison. We think about it in silo. So I'm really glad that you talked about the connection to it. But what's the remedy? We're a solution-based show. So no more evictions?
No, I don't.
Because for fear we're going to get shot.
I don't think no more evictions is I think the remedy always is employment, right? How can we increase employment? The more we increase employment, the less we got to worry about evictions. The less, you can go have your fun all you want to, but you'll have a source of income to pay for your fun instead of having to go use a weapon and take it from somebody else or something like that.
Well, I totally agree with you on that to a certain degree, but employment is not the only fix that needs to happen, because a lot of times you will be employed and you'll be gainfully employed, but all the other surrounding situations, rising costs, make it seem like that employment is just not enough. Even I don't care if you get a raise and something else happens, eggs go up to $6, that negates your raise, right? Because when you think about it, this administration ran on the premise that everything that was soaring would actually level out, and it hasn't happened yet. And in a couple of days, it's going to be the anniversary of 1 year. And people, are they better off now than they were? Or are they worse off now than they were? Because a lot of people were talking about Biden. Now they're talking about Trump. But truthfully, this is still a government of the people, for the people, by the people. And if the people want something, they need to collectively galvanize. Scratch that. We need to collectively galvanize and get that something. So yeah, this correlation between housing. It's because really what it is between stability and instability. And an unstable neighborhood is going to react in a way that they know how in order to stabilize themselves. And typically it's the first thing. It's more carjackings because now you're looking for a quick fix. It's more home invasions or home robberies, because we talk about murders and we talk about the murder rate. But when you look at robbery rates, they outpace murder rates 3 to 4-fold. And so
And also think about all of the younger teenage boys out there, 14, 15, 16, 17. Hey, mom got evicted. We don't have a way to pay for anything. They're 16. They're not in their right mind. And there's weapons all over the city. So at the end of the day, now you have a whole bunch of homeless 16-year-olds that have to go find a way. I mean, this is Chicago.
This is Chicago, but Chicago is really just an example of other major cities. We got more than 10 major cities in the United States, and every one of them is hurting. And so that's why these midterm elections are extremely important. Now, don't get me wrong, crime has happened for every administration, but because democracy is on the ballot, right? And then democracy has been on the ballot before, but democracy is literally, the whole Constitution is on the ballot if you really want to know the truth about it. So but when I come across people that say, oh, I'm not voting, it makes me look at them sideways, because I'm like, how are you not voting? Your no vote matters more than your vote. And so we got to be very vigilant about encouraging people. Like the people that I hear the most that say they don't want to vote is your millennials and your Gen Zs that are eligible to vote, right? And so these are things that we can actually fix collectively. In my opinion, this gun violence correlation to evictions is really something we can fix, because when you look at statutes make the laws, the eviction laws, statutes make the bankruptcy laws. All of those things are important. And who makes the laws? Your elected officials, right? All right, y'all, we talking about it. We're going to keep talking about it. And next, it's time to do something about it. But our guest is coming up right after the break. So don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on Inspiration 1390. It's the Brunch Bunch. Y'all just, Yes, I truly agree. You have to make sacrifices for your child, especially our Black men. That counts you out, Adam.
You see all them guys, like, you standing outside the gas stations and liquor stores and stuff like that, bro. And you just know, like, all right, if I go put a weapon in their hand right now, they're going to do whatever I say. If I give them $1,000, they can do whatever I say. It's like,
maybe not.
They're begging for $2 at a time.
I mean, sometimes people that are standing around congregating are just standing around congregating. You drop something. Hey, how's it going? How are you?
So,
Welcome back.
Thank you. Well, I haven't been here.
I know, but I think he has. Orion, you just in everything, aren't you?
Y'all need water?
no.
Sure.
Okay, yes.
DJ B-Low, what's going on? Where's the counter? Because you know I will run over. Obviously, I ran over this time. Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. So he said. He could. This Albertina waffle. Thank you so much. I got water. Thank you. Let me tell y'all something. Ain't nothing like Chick-fil-A ice. We are responsible for our communities. Exactly, Tony. We have to make sure. We got to bring back. A lot of neighborhoods don't have block clubs anymore. A lot of neighborhoods don't have, what is that? Where that, like, vigilantes, that neighborhood watch. They don't have that anymore. And even in our business communities, Where are the beat cups? What, you know the answer?
Yes.
Ask ChatGPT where the beat cups at. I'm kidding.
I'm loving the pants.
Oh, thank you so much.
We ain't done with them.
I know, right? And I've had them so long.
Really?
This is
You got about 10 seconds then.
okay. What you want me to do? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, products now. Huh? Oh, Shonda. Yes. It's not Shonda.
Right, Shonda.
Okay.
And Orion.
No, I know who he is.
Right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and I am so excited about our two guests in the studio, Orion Meadows and Shonda Collins. We're excited to welcome two amazing guests here on the Brunch Bunch. First, we're welcoming Shonda Collins. For the first time, she's the Vice President of Development and Communication at Nonviolent Chicago, who is leading the charge in elevating the narrative around community violence intervention, uplifting credible messengers, and fostering authentic conversations about public safety and healing in our city, which I'm looking at you and smiling because it actually correlates to our last segment. And also joining us once again is a familiar face to the Brunch Bunch family, Orion Meadows, a nationally certified Kingian nonviolence trainer with the Institute for Nonviolence Chicago. Orion returns to share insight on Dr. King's principles of nonviolence and how they continue to guide real, on-the-ground, peace-building work still today. Welcome to the Brunch Bunch, y'all. Listen, and it's very important, too, that King's birthday is coming up this coming Monday, right?
Actually, his birthday.
It's today. It's today. Yeah. But I'm saying the celebration is Monday.
Yes.
Saturday. Well, which celebration?
The federal celebration.
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk federal right now. It's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So listen, first of all, thank you so much for coming to the brunch. We appreciate you. And for those who may not be familiar, can you explain the mission of the Institute for Nonviolence Chicago and what the organization truly represents for communities across the city?
Sure. Again, thank you so much for having us. So the Institute for Nonviolence, we started about 10 years ago. This is our 10-year anniversary. And we started with a mission to end cycles of violence on the south and west sides of Chicago, particularly focusing in on gun violence reduction. So we have a team of individuals who is connected to community, who goes out relentlessly on a daily basis, making sure that people know what resources they have available to them. When there is an incident, we have a team that goes to support families, to visit people at the hospitals, and to help them through the healing process, as well as other redemptive services like workforce and reentry. Once there's an opportunity for us to offer resources for people who are looking to make a change in their lives around the culture of gun violence.
Well, you said a lot right there. And it choked me up, like literally. You know, a lot of people say, I'm more Malcolm than I am Martin, right? Mm. But which one actually got more accomplished, nonviolence or the more violent route? That's just rhetorical. I'm not asking that question to be answered. Well, today we honor Dr. Martin Luther King on his birthday. And how does his philosophy of nonviolence live and breathe through the work that you do every day at the Institute?
So, you know, Dr. King talked about the three evils of racism, poverty, and militarism. And so the work that we do as far as the demographic, first and foremost, the demographic that, you know, we pull from, come from a background of people who have been impoverished, but some of them also have been perpetrators of violence. Mm-hmm. And so what it does is it gives them an opportunity to be able to transform their own lives as individuals, but then return and be able to make an impact in those same communities where they may have been perpetrators of violence, and to be able to make a difference to mediate some of those conflicts. And so when we talk about we're talking about the racism and poverty aspect, but then the militarism aspect is that mass incarceration is a problem that didn't exist during Dr. King's day. And so when we're talking about militarism and mass incarceration, what happens is that when you provide people with opportunities and resources that come from those communities to be able to give back, then what it does is it counters or lessens the effect of mass incarceration, which is connected to militarism.
So, Orion, are you of the mindset that the correlation between poverty and violence is real?
Yes.
Okay.
Poverty is violence. When we talk about on a broader definition of what violence is something that causes suffering or harm upon a person or a group of people. And so when you divest from those communities, then you create the conditions that lead to actual physical violence. But when you're causing suffering by not investing in those communities, then you are committing an act of violence because you are intentionally causing suffering and harm upon those people that come from those communities. And so then when you look at violence that occurs, then you have to look at the root causes of that.
So, Ryan, as a nationally certified Kingian nonviolence trainer, how do the 6 principles and 6 steps of Kingian nonviolence translate from theory into real life community impact?
Okay, so principle number 3 is attack forces of evil and not people that are doing it. And so that's exactly what they were doing as part of the strategy during the civil rights movement. And so to speak to what I already spoke about as far as mass incarceration, what we have done, because we are seeing that the numbers of violence, they have declined. And so what we're seeing is that by investing in the people that come from those communities, and some of those people have once been perpetrators of violence, but now that you've given them an opportunity to be employed and to give back, then it's attacking that force that we're talking about as far as the criminal injustice system that has traditionally, historically targeted those communities.
So what do you say to Trump's recent comment that the civil rights movement gave permission for white people to be treated poorly?
You want to answer that? You might not want me to answer.
Well, I look at the ones that are a part of our movement and don't see that as something that is something that we think is accurate. I mean, there are, although largely the majority of not just our organization, but the larger coalition that we support and that we're a part of, which is about 16 other organizations across 30 neighborhoods in the city, although largely the people that are a part of the movement are from the communities, which are majority Black and brown individuals, there are white people who are lending their resources, who understand the dynamics of systemic oppression over the course of time. And so I don't think that to be the case.
And do you find that when people particularly that were so focused on civil rights, they were more focused on civil rights and not treating people any other kind of way? It was just, let's get this done. And I think that might still hold true today. So Shonda, in your role as Vice President of Development and Communications, what does your day-to-day work look like? And how do you help shape the narrative around community nonviolence intervention?
Great question. So, it depends on the day. I've been at the Institute for about 2 years now. So a lot of the work was just to build our strategy around how we advocate for support, how we get the word out, understanding what assets we have to do that internally and through the larger network that we have. Meeting a lot of people, that's the biggest thing. The relationship management piece is probably the most important part of my job. That consists of civilians throughout the city. That's people even outside of the city, because we need the support of really the entire state to see the work that we're doing. And shout out to the state of Illinois for their support. And then elected officials, everybody. So whoever I can get in front of, that's who I'm getting in front of with our messaging, but also being strategic about that as well. So that's what my day-to-day looks like. But again, it could change every single day. We have an event on Saturday.
Yes, let's talk about this fantastic event.
Yes.
So who, what, when, and where?
Yes, so we do an MLK celebration every year because our mission is very much rooted in the principles of nonviolence that Dr. Martin Luther King promoted. And so, in celebration of his legacy, but also to highlight the work that we are actually doing, we usually do a celebration. So, this Saturday from 10 to 1,
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Thank you,
to 1
Jesus.
p.m. Yes.
The reason I said that is because that other breakfast is like
Yes.
7 in the morning. I can never make it.
Yeah.
So 10 to 1 is perfect.
10 to 1, right. And we're doing lunch. So we'll have lunch for after the program. But so we have this theme this year is the courage to participate. And so what that means to us looking at the principles of nonviolence, the first principle is nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people. And so we're looking at the course of 10 years for ourselves, what that looks like. But again, connected to Dr. King's legacy, what does it look like to be active in our participation and be courageous in our participation around supporting community? So you'll hear from our participants, you'll hear from our staff who are courageously on the front lines of our community-based work, as well as an opportunity for the audience to see how they can connect to the larger community violence intervention work happening in the city.
Awesome. So people can connect to the Saturday event. How?
Yes, you can go to our website, nonviolencechicago.org.
Nonviolent?
Nonviolence.
Nonviolence. Okay.
Yes, nonviolencechicago.org. And it will pop up on the screen, or you'll find the drop down in the Get Involved section.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free. Completely free. Mm-hmm. But work fast.
We love free.
It's almost sold out, so work fast.
Oh, so it's a certain number of people.
Yeah,
so you have to register.
Capacity wise, yeah, we would appreciate registration. But all are welcome. A packed house will be a great problem to have.
Okay, but let me tell you something, guys. A packed house might not mean that you get food if you don't register.
That part.
So you definitely want to go to nonviolencechicago.org and register. So what it is 10 to 1 p.m. and it's Saturday. Where is it going to be held?
It will be at Grace and Peace Church, which is at 1856 North LeClaire in the Austin community. That's also where our office is located, so we'll have lunch upstairs after the program. We're showing a short film that we produced last year, and we're also having a dynamic panel of our CVI professionals as well as other supporters and 2 Emmy-nominated authors as well.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. So community violence intervention is often misunderstood. So we want to set the record straight today. What are some myths about CVI work that you're actively working to challenge or to actually correct and change the brain about it?
There's a couple. The first that comes to mind is that we're just out on the streets telling people to stop shooting. It's very much more dynamic than that. There's a holistic suite of services that we're connecting people to. So the outreach part, that relentless engagement daily in the community is very strategic around those who are at the highest risk of violence, whether as a perpetrator of gun violence or a victim. And so that's the main part of it. However, we also support the entire family and the entire community after an incident because, you know, the generational trauma that exists has to be addressed as well. So we do our part through our victim advocates and victim services to make sure people have the resources that they need to connect to healing. We have clinicians on staff, we have case managers and life coaches. So all of those things are the ways that people are once you tell someone no, right, or once you tell someone don't, you have to tell them what to do or show them what to do. So we do that by example, but also by offering those opportunities.
Wow, this is a really robust organization. All this in 2 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Oh,
yes.
10 years. That is awesome. Well, you know what? We're sitting here, we're talking to Orion Meadows and we're talking to Shonda Collins, and we want to talk more about what's going to happen on Saturday. So you don't want to miss this. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on Inspiration 1390. Awesome. This is a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think we probably want to talk about the earnest rim a little bit to let them know who they are.
The authors that are coming. So yeah, a little deeper into what the program.
How long is that song?
It's 2.5 minutes.
1.5 minutes. I don't want to give them enough time. Do we have any more commercials we have to play?
Okay.
And then I don't know what other questions you have.
Oh, I got some more.
If we got time. No.
But if it's something that you want to talk about,
the King X thing,
King X.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I love to talk about that. No more kings.
No, I'm talking about like Dr. King and Malcolm.
Oh, King L versus X. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that.
Philosophy wise.
Yeah. He did. That didn't mean be quiet. It's meant he got one more minute.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, that's it's kind of misconception. You said about that. They do. They actually do. And that was intentional to try to put them together.
It was. Yeah, King was much more. What would you say?
King. They said the trajectory.
Right.
Yeah. You start realizing what? They ain't loyal, and I'm not gonna say the rest.
It's a PR. It was a PR move.
What's up, Kim Whitley? How are you, boo? Hey, Cerise. Yes, I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your girl, Tamara Fair, on the air. And I am talking to another one of your girls, Shonda Collins, and of course, Orion Meadows. So, we talked about how you have a lineup of all-stars that are coming Saturday. Well, let's talk about these authors that are coming.
Okay, so Ernest Krim III, also known as Mr. Krim, he's going to be one of the authors. And as she stated before, he's Emmy nominated, and he has a book that is popular right now, How Black History Can Save Your Life. So he's going to be one of the authors. You want to tell him about the other?
Sure. So Tremaine Lee, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. He's also an Emmy Award winning and for journalism. And he has a book as well, 1,000 Ways to Die, The True Cost of Violence on Black Life in America. So he explores like the generational toll, the systemic toll that gun violence has taken across the U.S. And so we're excited to have them be a part of this conversation, with it being the theme of the courage to participate. So the courage to participate in all factors. So in media and having stories aired and shared and published like this is just as much active courage as well. So
these are tough conversations that are being had, but they're being had in silos. So this collective conversation needs to be had, because again, solution based, like how do we stop this violence that's ripping up our communities and really eroding our culture?
Absolutely.
So speaking of eroding of culture, we talked briefly about the rivalry between King versus Malcolm X, right? So let's go deeper. I know that your organization has a premise on that. Let's talk deeper about it, because we want to dispel any misnomers and then correct any awkward thinking.
Yes. So Dr. King and Malcolm X, they were not enemies. They didn't, there were some things they didn't necessarily agree as far as methodology is concerned. But if you study the history of these men, they were on a trajectory that was really like leading them to more towards one another than actually separating them or making them distant. And so, and even because there's a negative connotation that comes with the word with the religion of Islam, but Islam means peace. And so when we talk about nonviolence and peace,
they're synonymous.
They're synonymous. And what a lot of people don't know, even though he decided to relinquish it later because he was persuaded to, but Dr. King was a gun owner most of his life. And so when Malcolm X is talking about self-defense, that doesn't make him violent. It's just saying that that everything that exists, or everything that on this earth that is alive, has the right to exist. And so we practice nonviolence as much as you can to try to resolve any conflict. But I mean,
and you know what, that it's because we have really based opinions on sound bites. And even though in that era they didn't they didn't name them sound bites, they were sound bites. But if you talk to any Muslim, they will tell you, we come in peace. We fight with those who fight with us. I mean, they're not drawing first blood, right? And so I'm glad that you corrected that situation. So I'm looking forward to a peaceful, productive Saturday afternoon, morning through afternoon situation. But now you got one day that's dedicated to a man who changed the course of history. And so his legacy is living on, and thanks to the good work that you guys are doing. So, what's the message that you want to leave the listeners about their role in building peace and safety in our own communities?
I would say that to do your research in terms of understanding what's going on, in 2025, we saw a 60-year low in homicides in the city of Chicago. And so a lot of people don't know that. And if they do, they don't know how that happened, right? So partially that is done through the courageous work of the folks on the front line in communities doing the work block by block. And so I would say definitely do your research, engage, ask questions, reach out to organizations like ours to understand what's going on and how you can get involved. But definitely come to the event too to learn more about that.
I was going to say that. That's why I turned the page over. I'm like, and you know what? For those of you who literally want to have a plan in your communities, because it's now time to take your communities back, then definitely go to this event on Saturday. It's going to all go down at Grace and Peace Church, 1856 North LeClaire in Austin neighborhood. And you guys have a lineup that is outstanding. I'm so excited about it. And thank you so much for sharing. Good luck. And you know, you're a friend of the Brunch Bunch. You can always come back.
Love it.
You don't need Orion anymore. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Literally, I am so excited about the Martin Luther King birthday that's coming up, not just because it's a day off, but it's a day of reflection. It's a day of you changed the world, and now we are the beneficiaries of the world that you allowed us to be the beneficiaries of. So always we want to encourage you to keep Love 24 alive, non-violently. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them, and show someone that you do know how much you love them. Lead with love, land on love. I love you, Brunch Bunch.
We love you, Tammy.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you too. We're continue to pray for Valencia. Modi, I love you. Y'all stay optimistic. Thank you, Cerise. Thank you guys for tuning in. I truly do appreciate you. Reynolds Provision, all you have to do is DM me. I would love to hear from you. All right. Peace, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Hey, Tanya.
That was great. Thank you.